Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today I've got another journal set up for you for 2023, and this is my lettering practice journal that will hopefully carry me through the year. If you're new to my channel or new to my Instagram, I actually do monthly lettering challenges that generally revolve around some of my favorite movies. I like to pick various words and maybe small phrases that apply to these movies and have a little bit of fun lettering them. Since we're at the beginning of the year, it's time to go ahead and set up a journal for it. And compared to what I did last year, I'm really kind of getting out of my comfort zone. So for the last couple years, I have been using a Happy Planner lettering planner, I guess is the right word. And they're not bad. They typically have really great paper, lots of great practicing space. However, I find them to be a little bit cumbersome in their size. While they do have the added benefit of being able to take the paper off the disc, it's just, I find it too big. I find the space that's within each line to be a little bit too big and not realistic for what I would use my lettering for. So I wanted to try a little bit something different. What I have here is an 8x8 Archer and Olive journal, and I've really done something very different with this. So let's just open it up. Before I set it up, I'll kind of walk you through my plan. So what I have here, I have the start of the month of January. Now I've already gone through and I've done some trimming. I guess these would be what you'd call maybe a Dutch door. So I want to have some space where these shorter pages would be my weekly pages, and then the longer pages would allow me to see on the far left side the words for the month, no matter what week I'm on. You'll see as we get through this video what I'm talking about. But it's a lot smaller. Like I said, this is the 8x8, and those pages that you saw that I had trimmed, so the 8x8 is a lot wider than the standard A5. So here's an example of that. So the shorter pages that are within that actually are more typical to the A5 size. So I'm just using like 2 pages per month that extend past that. So let's go ahead and dive in and do a little setup. The setup part is going to be pretty basic. I really just want to get in and start doing some lettering and actually do my monthly setup, but we'll create a little cover page here, have a little fun. All right, since I normally do movies, we are going to do a little bit of that here on the front. All right, I've got this washi tape. I got it at Michael's a long time ago. I don't know if they still carry it. And we're just gonna lay that down the bottom. Trim that here in just a sec. If you have journals like me, you may find yourself turning them a lot to get at the right angle so that you can put things down straight. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and crisscross this, no big deal. Trim that off here in just a sec. Okay, all set there. That was already painful just as a first step. All right, now let's actually do a little bit of writing on this right side here. So we're gonna keep it pretty basic. I've done a little bit of a pencil sketch. If you're ever nervous, especially when you're putting in content like on a cover page like this, always just use a pencil and hopefully you'll have a few less errors, although that's never a guarantee. Just remember to go nice and slow when you letter this stuff in. And don't forget, with lettering, you are essentially drawing letters. You're not writing per se. So if you have a shaky arm or you skip things, crooked lines, whatever, you can always go back through and fill them in just a little bit. I'm actually making this worse. All right, we'll go with that. All right, that's not too bad. And I don't even think I need to go back through and erase the pencil marks there. All right, so I'm gonna put in my name. All right, that turned out okay. Actually, I should backtrack just a little bit and let you know that I am using a Tombow Furunosuke pen. And this is the softer tip nib. There's a hard version. Most of the Furunosuke pens are the hard tip. This is a bit more flexible and can give you a bit more of a thicker downstroke. I tend to prefer the harder nibbed one, but for this one, I want the lettering to be nice and bold. And so that's why I'm using it. All right, so we're just gonna letter in lettering journal. Okay, I like the way that turned out. Now, just for some added decoration, I have actually printed out a few squares, well, I guess squares, of the movie covers for the movies that I would like to letter this year. And I don't want to spoil everything for you, even though I am going to put all the movies on this cover. I'm going to put them in alphabetical order instead of order them by month, just to maybe keep you coming back for it. In this same video, we are going to set up January though, so I am going to give you a little bit of a, you know, a peek into what you can expect for the year. Okay, so let's see, I'm just gonna lay these out roughly. If I measured this right, oh no, we may have to tape this just slightly above the washi. That's okay. Treat it like a collage. So what we have here, we've got 10 Things I Hate About You, Bohemian Rhapsody, Can't Buy Me Love, Elvis. I tend to letter a lot of older movies, but Elvis is definitely not new, or not old, sorry. See, Elvis, Grease, the first Harry Potter, the first Home Alone, the first My Girl, Can Never Go Wrong with Practical Magic, Rocket Man, Under the Tuscan Sun, and Walk the Line. Yeah, so we're gonna fill in basically this entire front cover. This is the first time I've ever actually filled in a cover. I was inspired by a video I saw recently from Archer and Olive showing off really bold covers. So I thought, let's give it a shot. Okay, as I can see here with my layout, I've got a lot more room on this right-hand side than I do on the left, so I don't necessarily need to make these flush with the washi tape. I think I may bump everything. Yeah, I might start it after that first square. Yeah. Okay. All right, now we got a pretty good idea what needs to happen. So I'm gonna start taping these down. I've got my Tombow permanent adhesive tape runner that I'm gonna use to attach these. I'll do the first one with you guys, then I'll probably speed it up or just skip this part. This tape has a tendency to skip, so you may have to play with it, find the right angle. I need to double check my storage or my back stock of that tape because I'm getting ready to go crazy with all of my 2023 setups, and I've got a bad feeling I'm gonna run out of it. All right, I've got my first one put down and I'm gonna continue with the rest. All right, I'm back. We're all decorated and I think we're ready to jump into January. I don't know what happened during my taping process, but I ended up kind of, I don't even know if this shows up well on the camera, but I've got little kind of ghosty, you know, scratchy scuff marks here. Normally that would probably annoy me, but I really like it when these journals look really well lived in, and we're just getting an early head start. Let's go ahead and jump into setting up our January. Now, when I went through this notebook, I went through and I added little post-it notes for each page, and I earmarked a separate cover page that I don't think I need anymore. This is definitely a sufficient cover page, but I think I am going to hold on to this. I may turn it into like an index. I may just jump into it and do some fun lettering, doodling, or something like that. If I figure it out, I will be sure to share it with you guys later. But without further ado, let's jump in to January. All right. If you're new to bullet journaling, let me tell you the most important tip that I've learned myself. The most helpful thing when you're setting up a new journal is to actually use post-it notes to organize your flow, your thought process. I found as a disc-bound user that I liked the freedom of being able to rearrange pages, but I found that once I actually got the pages in there and got them in the order I wanted, I usually didn't rearrange it that much. It's just that initial setup that's really important, and so these little babies are going to be your lifesaver. Let's set that aside, and I did a little bit of pre-printing on some stuff. So I'm going to use these handy dandy pockets that are in the back of all Archer and Olive notebooks, and get our little tools. All right, what we have here, this is the list of words for us to letter. My plan is to glue this on the far left. That way when you flip from week to week, you can still see it. See what I mean? Perfection. And then what I did is I printed off a larger picture of the movie cover, and I'll do just a tiny bit of decorating around it. Nothing too crazy. And then we'll date, and hopefully it'll be pretty easy. All right, so let's grab our words. Let's add our tape. I like to get as close to the edge as possible. I see a lot of people try to conserve tape by just keeping it spotty. That's just not me. I just really like a nice, even coverage. How do you like to glue? Add me a comment. All right, I'm gonna line this up with the very bottom row of dots and to the far left of dots. It's all right that we have a little bit of room up top, no big deal. Before I put that down, I've got this Happy Planner Essential Dates and Numbers book, and I am planning on tearing up these monthly sheets that they put in here. All right, so let's pull off January. Now the question is, it is going to be hidden by the weekly sheets. Do I want it to be straight? Or do I want it to actually line up with on the side like that? It's definitely a style, you know. I think I'm gonna do it sideways. I kept having this vision as I was brainstorming this of it being sideways. So let's do it. Okay, so before I tape this down, I pulled some scrapbook paper, and I thought it would be a cute little addition to just build a little frame around that. Yeah. Now what I think I'm going to do, let's put this aside for now. I think I'm going to rip it. I've been seeing this a lot more on the YouTube videos that I've been watching. just people ripping their pages. And it gives a really nice clean look. So we can measure this out a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm just gonna rip against the ruler. Yeah, I like it. All right, so to get us a clean edge, I'm gonna see if I can get a little pinch. Just hold that ruler down as hard as you can so it doesn't slip. That works. You can always kind of pinch a little bit off to clean it up. Okay, so we're good there. Let's grab the top. Based on some of the videos I had seen, I was under the impression that you needed a special ruler to do this, and you really don't. You just need a good firm hand. That's all you need. All right, let's rip that off. Yeah, I like that. Cute. Okay, let's get the journal back in place. Let's see if we can figure out where center is. This is really approximately the center. It doesn't have to be perfect. That tape cut a little bit unruly there. All right, now let's tape on the movie cover. We'll just try our best to center it. It's really not meant to be perfect. Cute. I am happy with that. All right, do we need to do any other decorating with this page? Let's see. Okay, to play into the flower theme that is on the movie cover, I just got this book from Amazon, Bunches of Botanicals. Super cute floral sticker book. It's not my favorite sticker book that I own because the stickers are very glossy. I don't know if, yeah, it looks like it's coming through on the camera, but these yellow flowers, they would be just about perfect with this. Let's get this one in the center. Let's see what that'll do. I think I'm gonna let it come off the page a wee bit. I don't want to cover too much of the cover. Let's do that. Do we want to do anything else across the top? Looks like that's maybe, is that it for yellow? We have one more option here. Oops, starting to rip. Really don't need anything too fancy on this. Give it a nice little frame, still go off the page. Always going off the page is a really great idea to add some depth to your pages. Okay, I got it snipped off. I had to get my tiniest Tim Holtz scissors out in order to get these stickers to get trimmed, but we got it. It's a nice, simple design. I don't really think we need to do much more than this, and this is likely the type of design that I think I'm gonna do for the rest of the year. Let's go ahead and start doing some dating. Now, I had an idea. I don't know if this is gonna work, but one thing that I really hate to do with bullet journals is I really despise having to sit over this journal for hours and hours on end, drawing in tons of lines, boxes, things like that. That's why I glued in my words like this. I didn't sit here and draw this in. This would have killed my back and my neck. I don't have that kind of strength or time. So I'm not going to draw in lines for each day that I intend to letter, but I do want to put in a date sticker. And when that date sticker's on here, that should help provide, you know, a real adequate idea of where each box would be. So I want to do 4 days on each page. I tore a separate page out of my one of my Archer and Olive notepads, and I cut a little slot for where each new day would start. And I thought that if I laid this over, if I lined it up with the dots and laid it over the page, I should be able to easily see where I need to put the sticker down and be done with it. So going back to the January page, I'm going to take off these tiny date stickers. And because I don't want to bore you, I think I'm going to take them off camera, mostly off camera, stick them to the back of my hand. That way you don't have to be around for all the boring stuff. All right, I'm back and I look really goofy. I've got all the little baby stickers on my hand so that we can save a little bit of time. All right, so if I've got this right, I think I'm just gonna add it to the upper left corner of each box. All right, the holes are a little bit smaller than the stickers, but that's okay. Still is a good guide. All right, hopefully you can see that okay. Let me raise it up a little bit. So with the date there, you can clearly see you've got a pretty decent amount of space to practice with. And when we flip over to the next week, you'll see a little bit of leaf and you won't see the movie. You still will see the words perfectly fine. You won't have to wonder what they are. Now I'm gonna go through and date the rest of this. Okay, we are all done here. I have dated everything, and just for reference, in case you're curious about reproducing this type of a layout, I dedicated 4 full pages for each month, and that accounts for the longest possible month of 31 days. Since this is not a planner, it's literally just a way to count out the days. So 4 pages is sufficient, and it even allows for some extra space if you want to practice something else. When months like February circle around, you'll have even more space to play around. And it was just the easiest way for me to know exactly how much space I need. And if I want to have more fun with more quotes or anything like that, then I've got plenty of space to do that. So my little template worked out really well. Definitely recommend it. Archer and Olive's paper is really sturdy. So just by tucking this in my notebook, I should be able to keep it relatively safe. And it did a good job holding up, you know, as I was laying all the stickers down. So the only page that we would have left is at the end of each month in the journal. I want to dedicate it to a quote from the movie. Now, I think this video is long enough, and I think I'm going to save this for more towards, I don't know, the middle to the end of the month or something like that, and I'll probably add it to Instagram. But I'm going to do that each month, and when I do February setup, I will definitely show you what movie quote I chose. So I hope you guys enjoyed this setup. I hope you actually enjoy the movies that I've picked. Under the Tuscan Sun is definitely a longtime favorite of mine. I don't know if you know this about me, but I hope to write a book. I'm going to write a book, and I need all the motivation I can get. And I hope by starting the year off with a movie like this that maybe it'll help give me a little bit of a nudge. So Under the Tuscan Sun, definitely looking forward to lettering it. I'll post these words as well to my Instagram in case you want to participate with me. And yeah, that's it, friends. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. See you, friends.